good. I think the energy is good. So I'm going to start speaking. I will be saying some stuff in Spanish because I think it's really important for the community, our Latino community, to be always included. They're always in our hearts, and a lot of the times, especially in this time, they are scared. They're more scared than they ever were, and especially in places like this, right, when you are supposed to be open, welcome, and heard, they don't feel that they can do that. And so let's really start by honoring that, and I will say my statement in Spanish, and then we'll close it off in English. Then we'll have some parent testimony, whoever's really feeling that they want to say something that they didn't finish to get their speech and testimony heard. And also for those that were excluded from the public comment, because there was a few parents that were also not asked to speak up. So I'm going to start. This is the Declaración de Conferencia de Prensa, Instituto de Padres de MindShiftED. Esta noche, las familias de Edgewood, junto con el Instituto de Padres, están realizando esta conferencia de prensa para hacer que debido a lo hecho que ha pasado con la Junta Escolar de Edgewood, dejen que los padres hablen y que sean escuchados. El martes, tras meses de organización, las familias prepararon testimonios contundentes a una resolución comunitaria que ellos prepararon, pero en lugar de colaboración, en lugar de que lo recibieran bien como debe de ser, se encontraron con intimidación, se encontraron con confusión y con nuevas reglas diseñadas para silenciarlos, que es la verdad. Los padres que prepararon 3 minutos se vieron repentinamente que nomás eran 2 y fueron reducidos. Cuando el presidente de la Junta recibió esa oportunidad de tratar de decir sí, dale a la comunidad el tiempo que se necesita, él lo rechazó y lo negó. Cuando los padres intentaron compartir sus verdades, fueron interrumpidos, despedidos o ignorados. Uno de ellos fue expulsado, que fui yo, obviamente, fui arrestada y detenida durante esa noche simplemente por pasarme un minuto o menos. La verdad no creo que ni fue eso, de esa conversación, cuando otros padres sabemos que también se habían pasado y a ellos no les hicieron nada. Mientras tanto, otros exigieron todos esos tiempos, enfrentaron tales consecuencias. Este trato de desigualdad no es solo injusto, sino un claro ejemplo como el liderazgo de Edgewood ISD usa el poder para silenciar la misma comunidad que debe de suponer servir ellos. No estamos aquí para revivir esos detalles porque esos detalles son terribles, pero sin embargo queremos que las familias se tomen ese tiempo que se merecen porque ellos deben de ser escuchados. Esta noche los padres compartirán testimonios que les negaron, hablarán sobre la falta de transparencia de tomar decisiones con la Junta de Edgewood, cambiar las reglas y mover los objetivos, que es lo que nos han hecho, y las tácticas de intimidación que han usado para los padres. Y necesidad urgente de colaboración y respeto para que cada niño de Edgewood tenga una oportunidad real de tener el éxito que ellos se lo merecen. No se trata de ser de este solo incidente ni de una sola persona, para ser bien clara. Se trata de un patrón, algo que sigue pasando repetidamente con los padres y en las escuelas, y es un problema. Cuando se silencian las familias en Edgewood, el eco resuena en todo el estado y en todo el país. Padres defensores y aliados de todo el país se han comunicado con nosotros, ya que esto se ha manifestado y quieren solidaridad. Ay, eso está complicada. Estamos enviando este mensaje muy alto y muy claro. Los padres no son intrusos en las escuelas públicas. Son socios y son líderes y se merecen el respeto que deben de tener. Hacemos un llamado, gracias. Hacemos un llamado a los líderes del Distrito Escolar Independiente de Edgewood para que dejen de silenciar a los padres, dejen de intimidar a las familias y comiencen a escucharlos. No nos dejamos marginar, no nos van a silenciar. Los padres merecen un lugar en la mesa y nuestros hijos merecen algo mejor. Juntos nos mantenemos fuertes, juntos seremos escuchados, y ahorita que siga, vamos a presentarle a varias familias que quieren hablar. Nuestras peticiones para los líderes de Edgewood van a ser retirar los cargos que me han puesto, incluyendo no poder entrar a las escuelas y al distrito. Gracias. Una disculpa formal por el distrito del daño y el trauma que han causado a todas las familias, todos los padres presentes.
A todos los niños.
Una reunión con nosotros, MindShiftED Instituto de Padres y los padres. Y también vamos a iniciar una investigación completa por la Oficina Fiscal General de Texas sobre las acusaciones políticas y el trato de las familias del distrito escolar de Edgewood. No creo que esté el presidente aquí hoy, no le voy a llamar la atención, pero queremos que nos quiten esos cargos. Ok, ahora sí, gracias. Ahora vamos a la inglés. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. Let's do this. Do we need more energy? Nah, you guys are good. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Come on down, everyone. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight, the families of Edgewood ISD, alongside MindShiftED Parent Institute, are holding this press conference to do what should have been done at the school board meeting. Let parents speak and let them be heard. That's right. On Tuesday, families prepared powerful testimonies and a community resolution after months of organizing, because we're not asking them to be professional speakers. They are the ones that constructed their testimony and practice for this moment. But instead of partnership, they were met with intimidation, they were met with confusion, new rules that were designed to silence them. Parents who prepared their 3 minutes testimony suddenly were cut to 2. Shame on the district. Shame. When the board chair was given the opportunity to restore the full time, he refused. When parents tried to share their truth, they were interrupted, they were dismissed, and they were ignored. I was removed forcibly. I was arrested and held overnight, 18 hours of my life, simply for continuing to speak after being cut off.
And you weren't asked to leave.
Vergüenza.
Meanwhile, others, they kept going, and they did nothing about that. There was no such consequence. This is unequal treatment. This is unequal treatment for me that is not fair. It is a clear example of how Edgewood ISD leadership uses power to silence the very community it's supposed to serve. We are not here to relive those details. The legal process will take care of this course. We're here because the families of Edgewood continue to need to be heard. Tonight, parents will share testimonies they were denied. They will speak about the lack of transparency, changing rules, and moving goalposts that shut families out. They are also going to talk about intimidation tactics used to discourage parent participation and the urgent need for collaboration and respect so every child in Edgewood has a real chance to succeed. This is not about one person or one incident. They just highlighted that. It is about a pattern that continues to happen every single time for years and years. And they say all the things that they do, but they don't action on them. And so today, when families are silenced in Edgewood, it echoes across the state and the nation. Parents and advocates and allies from across the country have spoken out, and they are in solidarity with us. Yeah. We are sending a message loud and clear. Parents are not trespassers in public schools. Yes. Parents are partners. Parents are leaders. That's right. Parents are leaders. We call today on Edgewood ISD leadership to stop silencing parents, to stop intimidating families, and to start listening. Listening. I will not be pushed aside. We will not be pushed aside. Yes. We will not be silenced. Parents deserve a seat at that table, and our children, they deserve better. Yes. Together we will stand strong. Together we will be heard. And now I want to introduce you to the families and the voices and the legendary voices of Edgewood. Woo. Here we go. All right. Who's going to go first? I think Jessica, if you want to come out here and use this time.
You got this.
All right, Jessica.
Well, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Okay. Okay. This is the original statement that I had prepared the very first, when was it, Tuesday night. Fortunately, I wasn't even allowed to say it. I didn't get cut short. I wasn't allowed to say it. I did have my confirmation in that meeting it was announced publicly that I didn't sign up correctly or that I used the wrong agenda item, but I know that I did it correctly. I've got the confirmation, and in fact, I know I did it right because I signed my sister up and she got to speak. So it was done the exact same way. Okay, so here we go. Good evening, everyone, parents, students, advocates. My name is Jessica Rodriguez, and I'm a proud parent of 2 students at Gus Garcia Middle School. I'm a lifetime resident of the Edgewood community, and I myself was a student of the Edgewood ISD. I live only 2 blocks from the central office. First, I wanted to congratulate the Edgewood Independent School District on celebrating their 75th anniversary. Decades ago, Edgewood ISD was one of the best school districts in the country, not just the state. I read there's a document online that Edgewood posted. It's about the history of Edgewood School District, and I read a lot about it. I learned a lot of interesting facts. I couldn't help but reminisce and feel a great sense of pride. See, my dad, my tios, my tias, my cousins, basically everybody on that west side graduated from Edgewood High School.
Nice.
Matter of fact, my grandma did, and she was born in 1934. My mom's side, on the other hand, they all graduated from Kennedy. And what's interesting about that is that my mom grew up on Patton Boulevard in the once home of the first ever superintendent of the Edgewood School District, H.K. Williams. So my family has deep roots in the community and with the Edgewood ISD. It didn't come easy though, all these accolades and certifications and awards that the district won and was known for. In 1968, in the Walkout documentary, which I think most of us saw, it was Edgewood High School students and parents that walked out to show solidarity in their fight and their demand for a fair education. Ultimately, that walkout paved the way in reshaping some of the laws and part of the education system in Texas. So here we are now, 57 years later, facing a fight yet again. It's not the same type of fight, but it's just as hard to be heard and to probably win.
You got this.
This time around, we're fighting for our children's schools to be safe. We're fighting for them to be taught by certified teachers who take their profession serious.
Who knows Spanish?
We're fighting for them to learn in the environment free of constant anxiety and disruption. Some of the problems that most of our schools are facing is bullying. Matter of fact, that's a big one right now. It's running rampant in the schools and all Edgewood schools. I've been here, this is my 4th time, 3 times on Tuesday to talk about the same thing, bullying and safety measures within the schools. I wouldn't have been at those meetings had I not gotten resolution with the school properly through administration, counselors, teachers, etc. But everything was going unanswered and no resolution. So all those 3 times that I was there at those board meetings, the very next morning I would get a phone call offering a somewhat mediocre, empty promise to try and fix a solution. Students are not being held accountable with consistent disciplinary action. And I'm sorry, but a stay-away agreement is not a form of discipline. Not at all.
I agree to good question.
They factor in the problem of teachers lacking respect for parents and students. Then you want to factor in the administrators and counselors, principals, and their lack of urgency to keep consistent communication with parents. There are calls, emails to go without being returned for days, weeks, and even months at a time. I'm speaking personally about this. So why is that? Why? We have to stop and ask ourselves why. There's no longer a sense of pride that the Edgewood district once had, the Edgewood community once had. We need a leadership team that immerse themselves to become involved in the community, not just the schools. Edgewood ISD needs to hold events that involve our community and not just having panecito with the grandparents or meeting with the parents, or Zumba, with the parents. We need, and not just alumni either, to have a tailgate party at the football game. Our community advocates are here and they need to be heard as well. In order for us to win this fight, the Edgewood School District leadership team needs to be completely transparent. They need to listen and value what the parents have to say, treat them as partners. Their ultimate goal should be the same. The administration and board need to completely support our teachers. Our children deserve all these things. They deserve to live in a community that has a deeply rooted school district that is proud to have They deserve to live in a community that has a deeply rooted school district that they're proud to be part of. As well, you can't expect the students to respect teachers or administrators or faculty if they're not being respected, they're not being listened to, they're not being heard. So again, it's going to take hard work. It's going to take a lot of everybody being held accountable, students, parents, teachers, administrators, everybody, the community as well. It's going to take full transparency to restore what is quickly fading. I hope one day that the excellence in Edgewood, their ISD was once known for, can be fully restored, because if things continue the way they are, we probably won't make it to that 100-year anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. You want to go next? Okay, next up I'm going to have Dora, another mother from Edgewood. Go ahead, Dora.
Hi,
Here you go, girl.
Good evening. My name is Dora Maldonado, and I am here today as a parent, community member, and advocate for the students of Edgewood ISD. I'm speaking because our children deserve better. They deserve the transparency, accountability, and real investment in their education. Public concerns, IEPs are not being updated. Too many of our students with individual education plans are not receiving the updates and accommodations they are legally entitled to. This is not just paperwork, this is federal law. When these needs are ignored, students fall behind, achievement gaps widen, and confidence is shattered. Lack of quality teachers in classrooms. In some schools, students have spent nearly the entire year with substitutes instead of credentialed teachers. Children are being promoted without mastering the basics, setting them up for long-term struggles.
Failure.
Large class sizes and limited individual supports. With 30 to 40 students per class, teachers cannot give the one-on-one time support struggling students need. Some teachers are even covering multiple subjects, which is unfair to both teachers and the students. Overworked and underpaid staff. Teachers, clerks, and front office staff are overwhelmed. They are underpaid and stretched across multiple roles. This burnout leads to delays, less support for families, and weaker outcomes for students. Lack of funding and enrichment programs, clubs, sports, after-school activities keep engaged and motivated. These programs support academics and social-emotional growth, yet they continue to be underfunded or cut. The early college program, failing students. The early college program is supposed to provide opportunity. Too many students are being failed by the system. More than half don't complete their associate's degree. Some are taught by instructors who aren't certified in their subjects. Struggling students are some are taught by instructors who aren't certified in their subjects. Struggling students are pushed out instead of supported. Those without parents who don't know how to advocate fall through the cracks. Our students deserve better. Edgewood students deserve updated IEPs, qualified teachers, manageable class sizes, enrichment programs, and early college programs that lifts them up, not pushes them out of. Our staff deserves the resources, the pay, support they need to do their jobs well. Request action steps. We are calling on the board district leadership to ensure IEPs are updated, enforced under federal law. Place qualified educators in each classroom, no long-term substitutes. Reduce class sizes or provide aids for support. Promote students based on mastery, not just attendance. Hire more clerical, paraprofessional, and administrative support. Invest in enrichment programs that build stronger, healthier school communities. This is about our children's future. We cannot continue to ignore these issues. We are not just failing as a district, we are failing as an entire generation.
Yes.
Our children only get one chance at education. Edgewood cannot afford to fail them. We are not asking for extras. We are asking for what our students and staff were legally and morally owed. This is not about politics. This is about our kids, and our kids deserve better.
Yes,
I'm involved in a lot of stuff at school you could ask around. I don't exclude any kids. I've seen kids who have nowhere to go, and I've dropped them off. Kids that need things, and I've purchased or reached out to the community and bought stuff for them. Homelessness. A lot of kids are going through issues and they don't have no support. So we continue this path, those kids are going to end up in jails, and I don't want that.
No.
All of these kids that are acting out just need extra support and help the parents follow through with stuff. And if they don't listen, just keep trying, because a lot of parents don't know how to navigate the systems or don't know where to look for information. Just be patient with them, give them the guidance that's needed, especially for the younger kids, because once they hit middle school, that's a totally different thing. Either you're sinking, swimming, or barely floating. Sometimes they don't make it out. I just asked if they could just please listen to these topics that I've multiple times have asked for, and all the meetings that I've been at. Thank you.
Our Latino kids.
Does anybody else want to speak that didn't get to speak? Belinda.
Get the parent.
I get a little bit sentimental, but
It's okay.
kinda, I don't even know where to start. I'm raising my grandchild, and he's still in elementary. He was bullied and abused for many years. They had him in a behavior unit, which he never should have been there. He's been out for about a year and a half since out of the behavior unit, but he's in the 5th grade. He does not know how to read or write. He cried the first day they put him in the regular class, and he said, "Grandma, I want to go back." I said, "You want to go back to all this abuse?" He goes, "But over there we didn't do anything. All we did was play games in the iPad." And I feel bad. I'm not just here for him, but also for all those special kids that are in the behavior unit. We need to expose them. They're in that room all day without going out to PE. They cannot eat with the other kids. It's worse than a prison. You know, how can we expose them to socialize with other kids when they have them locked up? You know, and the last time that they took him out, because I said, his doctor said, you have to sue the district and the administrators, because he got really hurt. And I don't really want to say what exactly happened, but when he grows up, there might be different defects on what happened because of what happened. He went this year to go meet his teacher, and there was so many kids in that class. There was over 32 kids, and he just lost it. I can't be here. I was like, what am I gonna do? It's the last, it's just a couple of more days for school. So I said, let's go in a hurry before all the teachers go out from other schools. He's in Perales, he's doing good, he loves it. But I told the principal, why are you leaving? I said, you only have one 5th grade in English class and a Spanish class, and there's over 32 kids. She goes, oh, and that's not the capacity, It's like, what do you mean? Well, if 50 kids come, we're gonna have to stick them in there. It's like, how can they learn with so many kids? But my main concern was he didn't want to listen to me that day. He even called me today. He wanted a private meeting with me at what time. The thing is, my concern was, this is his last year in elementary. And all these ladies are my friends from getting together and talking about, we need to take out our stress on something, and how can we do it? And I hear about all these middle schools, Gus, Brownwood, where is he gonna go? And I wanted to know, they need to put a stop to it now, because, they talk about our kids are all mental. Of course they're mental with bullying. That's why they get mental. They don't do nothing about it. This has to stop. And what would they do if it's their own child?
That's right.
They're not in the district. Their kids are not in the district.
Yeah, but what would they do if that was happening to their child?
That's right.
Sit around and just keep going to school. Tough it out. No, this has to stop. And that's...
Thank you.
And I'm an Edgewood Raider, and I'm proud to be a Edgewood Red Raider, but, it's a shame to have that board in the Edgewood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else want to speak? Okay, go ahead.
No, you go. You guys, your parents are
My name is Dorothy Borges.
priority.
I live in the district. However, I took my kids out. Why? Because they couldn't get the quality education they deserved. So I took them out of the district. Best decision I could make. Unfortunately, yes, some of these parents cannot do that because, again, the schools are far. There's different reasons. However, this needs to stop with Edgewood. It starts with the superintendent.
That's right.
The superintendent's getting evaluated, and he gets raises after raises after raises. And for what?
Based on what? Based on what?
We are at a D rating, and it's been for 5 consecutive years. And as well, our schools are not improving. They're getting worse. And for what reason? Because the evaluation of our superintendent is where? He's doing great, but our students are not excelling. Why? So that's what we need. That's what we want. I'm requesting to remove the superintendent and get the children a quality education. He needs to resign as of right now. And we need a new board, a board that's gonna listen to us and not cut us off.
That's it. That's it.
Reinvest that salary.
Okay, I do want to acknowledge we have a couple of partners across the nation, and if anybody wants to speak, please let me know. I don't want to have anybody not heard today that needed to be heard. Okay, we want to definitely acknowledge our National Parents Union that we're a part of, and they're spreading this message far and wide. We want to acknowledge our local partners as well. I know LULAC is here in full support. They were really active on that day, and they took all of the videos that you all probably saw in the media and that you probably shared. And we want to acknowledge that everybody here is a partner. Every community member that has shown up, any partner in a nonprofit space, any partner in organizations, everybody's here surrounding the kids, surrounding the families, because we all want the same thing. We didn't want to go to jail. This is not what this is. Community is actually inviting. Community is welcoming. Community shows up. Community supports. And they want our schools to be better. They need to have parents at the table. That's how we're going to get better. We are the change in education. Parents that are here. And I just wanted to acknowledge that and say we ask that the district drop the charges. We want them to drop every single charges that has been put on us. Especially, yes, exactly that. No trespassing charges, because they don't want us there. They don't want.
They did not ask you to.
Yes.
We need Joe Gonzalez to step out.
Yes, and so we want them to drop that trespassing, because then I cannot support the families that are there, and that's what they want. And we don't want that. We want a formal apology from the district from the harm and the trauma that they've caused all of our families, all of us. I had a parent ask me, is it okay if it's a little over? This is not that. We should not traumatize our families with limitations on when they want to speak. Here we are free to say what we need to. I also want them to meet with us and the families as soon as possible. And lastly, we were going to launch that full investigation with the Texas Attorney General's office into the Edgewood ISD actions, their policies, and the treatment of families. And now I just want to say thank you so much for coming out. If you all want to speak to the families, they're more than happy to share their stories with you. And I really applaud all the work and the efforts that the community here has done. Thank you so much. We do want President from LULAC, Gabriel, to speak, just share a few words.
Just to share a few words. I'm the Texas LULAC State Director. When I saw what was on TV, I was in Houston, Texas. Mauricio, some of our local councils, that's the leadership, the people on the ground that fight for our people every day across the state. What I will say is that everything that's happening to our children in our community is by design.
Yes.
All the way from the Texas legislature down here. So that we're not lying to ourselves by thinking that we don't know who's at fault in that governor's mansion that has produced this. And it's been historic that this community, Edgewood versus Kirby, that has fought. And that the funding itself in the very beginning has been unconstitutional. They have left our kids behind and they excelled.
But we still made it.
But now, but what makes it even worse is that you have an administration that disrespects families, that disrespects our children. I was in a back unit, and I know the lies that they do on these children. I know the art programs where they sit there and they mark that these kids are getting the services that they're getting, and they're not. They're not. In almost every one of our schools across this city, our kids are going without. So instead of having leadership at the school board to have guts, stand up and say the truth and work together with the parents and organize. I'm going to tell you right now, LULAC, in the 1920s, when we fought for desegregation of these schools, when these gringos wouldn't do a damn thing to educate our children, we started the Little School 400. We had to take responsibility for the education of our children because these institutions wouldn't do it. Here we are. Here we are. And we're going to start the LULAC councils. We're going to start organizing and working with these lovely organizers that are out there to support their efforts so that we can ensure that these children get what they need. And the first part is litigation, legislation, and voting.
That's right.
So I want to ask for the resignation of that superintendent. I want to put on notice every one of those board members except for one young man that I know spoke up. They need to go. If they don't have the guts to fight up for a young lady that's fighting for their community, they need to resign now and go home. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity to say my word.
And we will close with, when I say parent, you say
Parent!
Parent! Parent! Parent! Parent! Thank you all. Good night.